There is no secret that Bitcoin has been the best producing asset of 2019 and the last decade. But it's pretty expensive, $9,884. Why will it continue to grow? Can you still make money with Bitcoin? Well, in this video right here, I'm gonna tackle that question. I'm gonna give you guys 3 reasons why Bitcoin could potentially hit 50K in the next couple of years. Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another cryptocurrency video, and today we're going to be talking about top 3 reasons or catalysts why Bitcoin can hit $50,000 in the next, couple of years or so. Okay, if you think that's way too much, well, keep in mind there's reputable people that claim that Bitcoin is going to be $100,000 in 2 years. Some people even say $1 million, maybe in the far future. But 50,000 is pretty conservative, okay? But before we get started, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the #1 cryptocurrency channel on the internet, I don't know what you're doing, okay? I try to give practical, knowledge about, cryptocurrency and entrepreneurship. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the push notification bell so you can get videos like this all the time. One more thing I did want to say is that I have a free private group. If you look at the link in the description below, it says top secret private group. This is a good way to keep your head level, in the market fluctuations, as well as, I'm answering questions. There's a lot of smart people in that group. So go ahead and join for free. It's 100% free. All right, so let's jump right into the video. Okay, so the first reason why I think, Bitcoin could be $50,000. And these are like fundamental reasons. I'm looking at some charts, but I'm not looking at any short-term anything. When you guys watch my videos, keep in mind, everything's mostly long-term. So the first reason is DeFi, okay? If you don't know what DeFi is, as you can see here, decentralized finance. Now, let me attempt to explain, blockchain technology and decentralization so you can understand what this really means. And I'm gonna keep it as simple as possible, very simple, okay? Trying to explain this to like a child, basically. That's what I'm gonna try to do here, okay? So basically, decentralization, okay, has 2 elements to it, okay? One, reason why cryptocurrency is so valuable is because it's immutable. Okay, immutable meaning nobody can hack it. It's like artificial trust, right? It's just an algorithm that's unhackable because everybody contributes to the security of the system. Okay, second part, the decentralization part. It takes away all third parties and intermediaries. So in this case, we're talking about banks, right, that have financial tools, right? These tools that they use traditionally we can like kind of cut the middleman out, and that's basically what DeFi is doing. They're taking financial instruments and tools and making them decentralized, okay? And recently, right, these tools, this killer app, right? When I first got into cryptocurrency, there was talk about like a killer app, okay? This is potentially one of them. I don't know if it's gonna be like the one that brings everybody to cryptocurrency, right? All the value, the mutability that I was talking about and the decentralization, we don't see that anywhere else in the world, right? So if we could put that in like a game or an app or some type of system, it would increase adoption, right? That was like kind of like the understanding of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. And this is kind of one of the first ones, DeFi. It's taking like the financial instruments, and it's no wonder because people are in cryptocurrency in the first place because of finance. I wouldn't say people come to cryptocurrency for games, right? They typically come to make money off of speculation. Being that that's most likely the case, I would think that this is probably not the killer app, right? It's probably for the financial people, and the reason that's why it's booming. But, it's doing really good for the ecosystem as a whole. It just passed $1 billion, meaning that there's literally $1 billion that's committed to locking their funds as collateral, okay? So what are these like financial tools? Like in one case, you can kind of trade in a decentralized way. You could switch one cryptocurrency to another without a third party or intermediary, right? Another one is you can kind of like save it and earn, cryptocurrency. So like MakerDAO, for example, as you can see here, this is a very like simple explanation of it. There's a lot of different features and applications on blockchain. But for DeFi, an Oasis, you can literally, trade it, like I said, borrow. So you can lock away your cryptocurrencies and borrow against it, right? And then you can save and actually earn interest on your cryptocurrency. So these are kind of like, basic financial tools that you don't need a bank for. You don't need another person to kind of look over and regulate it, right? It's all handled with artificial trust, and algorithms are technically unhackable, okay, guys? So I believe DeFi can help cryptocurrency as a whole. Obviously, this is not Bitcoin. This is Ethereum and Ethereum smart contracts. But as you guys know, Bitcoin runs the whole market, right? Bitcoin is 63% dominance. By the way, it's been decreasing, so we could see an altcoin run. I might do a video on that. But Bitcoin's Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin's been here the longest. If you look at the search traffic on YouTube or Google, when it comes to other cryptocurrencies versus Bitcoin, Bitcoin dominates. When I mean dominates, it's way more than 63%. I think on YouTube, there's only like 30,000 people that search Ethereum, which is the second biggest coin right here. And then Bitcoin's like at 200,000, like a 10x difference. So people typically get into Bitcoin and then they'll probably start playing around with Ethereum and decentralized applications such as DeFi, right? So the fact that DeFi is doing so well, I believe is a huge catalyst because why? We're actually seeing things happen, right? For the past 10 years, cryptocurrency has been all speculation. People have been guessing if the price are going to go up. Now we have an actual use case to why cryptocurrency can increase in value. There's actual application. I think that's very fundamental with cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. And the first part's actually playing into the second reason. There's people that are in finance that are actually trusting it, right? $1 billion, not a lot, it's not crazy, but people are losing trust in traditional finance, okay? And it's a fact, right? As you can see from this kind of like chart / article here, it's showing the decrease of purchasing power of the dollar, basically the decrease of the value of our $1, right? So $1 back in the day used to buy way more. Why does it buy so much less now, right? And it's because they are printing new money in the supply. And this plays into cryptocurrency. I'm gonna explain. This is kind of a little bit difficult concept to understand, but the US dollar is being printed. So basically when we're on the verge of a recession, right, an economic like turn down, they typically will print more money to buy assets and kind of stir up an artificial, I guess you could say like an artificial kind of hype. They print more money to stimulate the economy, okay? And this is very good. Obviously, it looks cool for the short term. People feel safe and everything like that. But for the long run, it's very bad for the value of the dollar. And we see this all over the world where the government kind of just prints too much money, hyperinflation, right? We see where the value of the dollar is literally worthless, okay? And I'm not saying that this is exactly happening, with US dollars. We are one of the most powerful currencies on earth, but the devaluation is making people lose trust in the US dollar. Think about these millionaires out there that have a whole bunch of money and they want to capture their value. They want to save their value. And we've seen it time and time again, in the past when we're on the verge of, a recession, they print more money, people lose faith, they lose trust in the government and they start going to something called commodities, okay? Now commodity, not specifically commodities, but anything that has a fixed supply or predictable slow supply. What that basically means, okay, is that, for example, gold's one of the best commodities. Gold is increasing by about 2 to 3% a year. You can only find so much because it's very rare, okay? So this makes it a very good store of value, right? Actually, it was one of the best monies until the Fed came into play here. So to make it simple for you guys, people with a lot of money, they like to buy commodities because when the value of the dollar, think about it, if you have $1,000 and your $1,000 is decreasing in value, the best way to save that $1,000 is to buy $1,000 of something that you can't hyperinflate. You can't hyperinflate gold, right? It's only increasing by about 3% a year. The only scenario in which you can is if we somehow find like a huge gold reserve, okay? Or this is where Bitcoin comes into play. This is my second reason. Bitcoin is technically even better than gold in this scenario because it has a fixed supply. Once 21 million Bitcoin are created, okay, you cannot create any more. Okay, this increases scarcity. Actually, Coinbase right here says Bitcoin will become the closer to digital gold in 93 days. And the reason why they say 93 days is because the Bitcoin halving. Okay, so there's basically a certain amount of Bitcoin that's being created every 15 minutes. I made a full video on this. If you guys want to completely understand it, I'll leave the link in the description below. But basically, the halving actually decreases the supply every 4 years or so. Okay, so that's actually happening in like 93 days. And this increases scarcity. As you can see here, since the gold standard was broken in 1971, the dollar's value has declined and gold's value in dollar terms has risen over 4,000%. Gold has more value than similar metals such as copper due to its relative scarcity and difficulty to acquire. So if it's really hard to acquire, people assign more value to it. People get scared, right? And in 93 days, this is the perfect situation where people are actually going to start getting scared about the supply of Bitcoin, right? They might not realize it now, but once they see that there's only 21 million Bitcoin, there's only a certain amount. Think about it, guys. Think about all the millionaires in the world, right? There's a certain amount of millionaires. Now, keep in mind that if every millionaire tried to grab one Bitcoin, there would not be enough. Now, if that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what does. So that's the second reason we could potentially be going into a recession. We're losing trust in a traditional financial system. And people typically go to commodities that have kind of like a fixed supply. And Bitcoin is the ultimate use case for a fixed supply. It's like I told you guys, artificial trust. It's artificially built into the algorithm that only 21 million are going to be created. There's no, new Bitcoin that's going to be found somewhere like gold could potentially be. It's 21 million, it's 21 million, and that's it. Okay, guys. And for the last reason that I want to look at, it's basically kind of like data science, right? Taking a whole bunch of data points and kind of creating a picture that we can look at. Okay, I understand this doesn't look like the traditional Bitcoin graph. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, it's basically the logarithmic graph. So if I go to Bitcoin right here, I can show you on CoinMarketCap how to do it. So if I click right there, this is like the linear graph. And then I have other videos that explain this specifically. I'm not going to dive into it, but if you click log scale, this is what it looks like. So this is kind of what we're looking at here. So if you look at the rainbow, you're probably asking, what is that? So basically they take all the high points, all the mid points, all the low points, and they kind of make a prediction using logarithmic regression. Okay. So this is basically a logarithmic regression chart. And as we can see here, we come to 50,000, right? This is the $50,000 mark right here. I think this is 60,000, 50,000 right here. You come over and we're looking at, 50,000 being fairly realistic, guys. If the more we get to purple is the more unrealistic it gets. And, it's kind of in the middle. It's pretty realistic. As you see here, they take the historical data of Bitcoin and they make predictions for the future. Now, Bitcoin was at 1,000, at 20x to $20,000. Now, I'm not saying at it, it's currently at what? Bitcoin's at what? $10,000. I'm not saying it's going to 20x again. Okay. According to logarithmic regression, obviously the increase of, percentage gains was very exponential here. A lot more, chances to multiply your money in the beginning. But as more money gets into Bitcoin, the less multiples we get. So if last time we kind of 20x our money, I think we can at least, 5x, 10x our money. I think that's realistic to say. And, Bitcoin's worth $10,000. So that's where I get, the $50,000 price prediction. Okay, guys. So that's kind of like the top three reasons. Just to run through it one more time for you. I know it's really complicating. First one is innovation. Cryptocurrency as a whole is innovating with blockchain technology. We've never seen an immutable, decentralized, trustless technology like this ever. And, some of the applications are catching on, like DeFi, right? Decentralized finance. Reason number two, people are losing trust in the government, hyperinflation. They're printing too much money and devaluing our dollar. We can't save it anymore, right? We're kind of taking the power away from the people who are saving money and putting it in the power of the people that can print it at will, right? So people are losing trust and they're going to commodities or anything with a fixed amount of supply, something that can save the value of their money, right? So that's the second reason. And the third reason is this logarithmic chart. It's very popular, actually. Logarithmic regression. People have talked about it a lot of times. And I think it's a very good indicator, one of the best indicators to the future value of Bitcoin. But obviously, guys, like I say in all my videos, this is long-term perspectives. I'm not thinking in a short term at all. Okay, so, it could drop, actually there's a good chance that it could drop a couple thousand, but I'm not looking, to do that. I'm dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin for the long haul, as you guys know on my channel. But that's it for this video, guys. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism, subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.